is in their house, where they're in a place where they have any assumption of privacy, they ought to be private. Everybody is entitled to some privacy. If they go into a hotel or they go into a restaurant, that's different. Then they've given away their right to privacy.
But not in the hotel room.
Not in a hotel room.
Well, that's where they got Frank Gifford. In the hotel room.
And that's not right.
The Oval Office.
It's not the Oval Office.
Right.
That's
right.
I always come back to the Oval Office. Right. Everything.
The word oval is so important.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Steve, what do you think of me?
I don't know, but you look at me with those red eyes, I feel like I'm suddenly under your spell.
You've done something wrong. You know, I've had so much of that myself that I'm used to it, and I don't really expect people to leave me alone. So when I'm at home, you know, taking a bath, I make sure I'm wearing like a pink gorilla costume with a big penis on it. I try and entertain them, you know. You can't really get rid of them.
But
I got some kids come to my door yesterday, and, you know, we told them that Lionel Richie lived there, so I thought that would kind of distract them.
But that's a very big attitude you have about it, but other members of our panel may have had their privacy invaded.
That too. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy when they run you off the road. I've all sorts of things when I was pregnant and with my two kids, and they've almost run over other children to try and get to me. I mean, it's really dangerous. I mean,
well, you had a video stolen. I mean, what was done to her, I think, is a crime. I certainly think it's wrong what was done to her.
And you don't think it would be a crime if someone is in the privacy of their own home and someone has a telephotic lens and they get you in your home?
Absolutely.
I think if you're out in the yard, if you're outside, I don't...
What law?
They're keeping some laws. I mean, how can you say
No, I'm not saying inside your house. I'm saying if you're out in the yard having a barbecue or by a pool and somebody can stand on a public street and use...
So celebrities are basically under...
What?
What if you have an outhouse in your backyard? Some people do.
Not in South Carolina anymore.
So you're saying celebrities have to be under house arrest? In other words, they can stay inside and then they're okay.
Here's a celebrity who seems to be able to handle that.
Well, he's lucky. And he's also a bit of an exhibitionist.
Well, I'm an exhibitionist too, but...
Yeah. But, I mean, what principle are we upholding by allowing this? Why is that something we should stick by, that we allow?
As a woman, I've been in a lot of fearful situations where people jump out of bushes. You know, I've been trying to get in my car, and, you know, if a guy didn't have a camera hanging around his neck, then it would be, you know, he'd be a stalker. But since he has a camera, you know, he's allowed to do these things and chase me around, and it's been really scary.
You know what it really is? It's George Orwell. And it's not Big Brother, it's Little Brother. It's lots of little brothers. And it's with the internet. And, you know, it started with, like, Rodney King. Everybody around you is contributing to, you know, the watching of yourself.
And it's not just, it's not just celebrities. It's privacy. Privacy in general is under assault in this country. I mean, people can get your credit card numbers. They can go into your internet. You know, there have to be very strict privacy laws.
And that is certainly the situation you have with your ex-boss. I mean, the basic argument comes down to, okay, he may have lied. He seems to be a little bit slippery.
I tell you that in the neighborhood...
And he definitely had sex, but is that more of a threat to the Republic than the invasion of privacy which has produced this?
I tell you what's a threat to the Republic is the president who, I think he should resign because of what he did sexually in the Oval Office.
Thank you so
much.
But
I think he should go through the impeachment process because of the high disregard for the law that he has displayed and how he's gone through this process.
The's no law against oral sex.
No,
I know that upsets you.
If I can assert,
in fact,
when it comes to oral sex, and I know because I'm an expert on the oral sex.
I've read that on.
I have a chapter in my book, and it clearly states, and I wish Clinton would have held it up, you know, when he was on TV and said that oral sex is like handshakes and autographs. When you're a celebrity, it's part of your job.
All right, we'll take
the only part I can't agree with is the cigarette.
All right, well, whenever we have our former Secretary of Labor here, we'd like to do a labor issue. There is one in the news this week. It is about a department store Santa. Actually, she was working at a Walmart. I didn't know Walmart had Santas, but they have everything else. But a female, okay? female working as Santa Claus, and they let her go because basically they said, look, Santa's a guy, he's married to Mrs. Claus, and the elves like it that way.
Right.
And she sued because she said it's wrong and discriminating to disqualify me just because I am a female Santa. And
listen, I think if you're Benji's lawyers, you don't have a right to sue Walt Disney because he didn't get the lead in that darn cat. That's just kind of how I see it.
I think it's more not a woman issue but a breast issue. Because Walmart won't carry my CD because I have breasts.
Right.
And I think Santa deserves to have breasts. Santa can give toys to kids. Santa can have breasts.
It depends on the purpose of Santa. I mean...
Well, if I want to sit on Santa's lap, I want to squeeze some breasts.
Pam wants to...
What did you used to get for Christmas?
I mean, it depends on
a hole in my stocking.
Walmart, if anybody has a deep voice and can dress up like Santa, if it is a woman or if it is a man, it doesn't matter, they ought to be permitted to be Santa.
And if a woman has a beard, she should be able to have these things.
Absolutely.
Drag. Santa in drag.
or if a woman is with a beard. You know.
But you know what? I think an employee should have the freedom to say, listen, Santa's generally a man, and I should have that freedom to have him.
I agree with you.
An employer,
Cindy.
excuse me.
I really
do.
Yeah. You know, I don't know why in this day and age everybody has to do everything.
Right.
That's true.
You know.
That's right.
Short people can't be basketball players. I'm sorry.
White men can't jump.
You're that's very, very close. I think there ought to be a separate league. And also, it may be that a department store wants to have a female Santa, and it may be that people want to sit on her lap.
But Santa,
and that's perfectly okay.
And then also, they're going to start, if he's a Jewish Santa, he has to be circumcised. It's going to get very complicated.
But Santa doesn't have breasts, and I think it would confuse.
Why not? He's kind of fat. Think about it. Like, what about men? If men's breasts get to a certain size, should that be considered sexual? Like if a big fat guy has big breasts?
I like men with breasts.
Because what about the guy that got breast implants? I bet he can't walk around topless.
You're a provocative person.
He could be Santa.
He could be Santa, see?
Even though he had
maybe you have to have male genitalia to be Santa. The
I
breasts are irrelevant, but maybe you have to have a penis to be Santa.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Because otherwise...
No, that is not a bona fide occupational qualification.
What?
Would you like to be Santa?
No. Mrs. Claus. I'll be Mrs. Claus.
I'll be Santa.
Yeah. All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Join us Monday when our guests will be Charles Shaughnessy, Cheryl Lee Ralph, and Laura Ingraham.
All right, since again we have one of the Clinton cabinet members here, let me go back to Ross Perot for a second. Let me read one of his other quotes. He said, "I think it's totally disgusting that you'd take advantage of a vulnerable young woman and just manipulate her and use her like a toy." That's his estimation of what Clinton and Monica... I see you nodding.
Yeah, that's right.
Why did he manipulate her? She showed him her butt thong.
Yeah, she says she shows him this, which is wrong of her. He goes, hell, you got on thong underwear? Meet me in my office at 10 o'clock. By the way, what's your name? That's the kind of man we got as the president of the United States.
I think that if a girl wants to
absurd.
be Santa or she wants to be a humidor, a girl should be able to do what she wants to do.
Wait a minute. This is a time in American history when we have India and Pakistan have the bomb, Russia's imploding, Japan is going down the tubes, 1 in 5 American kids are in poverty, and we as a nation are obsessing about presidential sex.
That's the whole nation. The whole nation, most of the nation wants it to go away. Isn't that true? 70% of Americans want him to continue in office and this to end.
But it's not ending. It is not ending. It just keeps on
because
going.
of people like you, it's not going to end.